Se dovessimo progettare una barca, da dove dovremmo cominciare? Dalla carena. Sì, è proprio da lì.
If we were to design a boat, where should we start? From the hull. Yes, that's exactly where you'd begin. And yet it's the last thing we look at when we look at a yacht, a motorboat, an inflatable raft. Of course, we do not think about it because we are rather fascinated by a boat's shapes, the elegance of its deck, the comfort of its interiors. But the most important part is the hull, and that's where all the attention needs to be focused, at least by designers and builders. And that is exactly what the Aquayard has done.
Questo è il loro primo esemplare, il 35.
This is their first model, the 35. It was launched for the first time in 2015, then was further developed up to this edition, the restyling in 2017.
Torniamo a parlare della costruzione. Una carena deve essere capace di navigare sempre confortevolmente in modo...
Back to talking about the construction. The hull must be able to sail more comfortably, safely, even when the sea becomes rough. So it must have the correct forms and then also great strength, because the speed, the impact with the waves, it should be well supported by the structure.
Ebbene, Aqua nel corso dello sviluppo di questa imbarcazione non ha modificato.
Well, Aqua, during the development of this boat, did not modify the very deep V profile of the hull. Just think that the dead rise is 24 degrees aft, but they have reinforced the whole structure, even using carbon fibre. And it has been passed to the construction of the hull and deck in Sandwich for infusion of vacuum vinyl ester resin. This great speedboat is 15 centimetres longer than 12 metres overall, yet it is approved as an under 10 metres pleasure craft. This means that, in Italy, it does not need to be registered.
La larghezza è di 3,70 metri.
The width is 3.7 metres. The measurements have undergone some variation. Also, the weight has improved compared to the first series. In fact, the boat is now lighter and probably even faster. Today we have the most powerful engines, two Volvo Penta D6 engines of 400 horsepower each. The interiors are furnished with simple, unobtrusive materials, but they are very pleasing, bright and fresh. There is an elegant and comfortable cabin, well equipped with various cabinets. If you want to invite friends or have children, there is a second berth under the cockpit. The dinette is for two people. The bathroom is separate and has a circular shower stall. This new version has a sun deck built into the foredeck. Along the edge there are no handrails, but they can be added. The walkways bordered by sides is a rare quality on boats of this type and allows you to go toward the bow in a safe and comfortable manner. To act on the chain locker, however, we need to go in the extreme top and keep our balance. The aft sun deck is open on the swimming platform. It is very comfortable and has some protection for anyone who wants to lie down. But in fast navigation, it's better to sit on the couches. Ample space has been devoted to the cockpit and the choice of this size of sofa is correct. The table is adjustable in height and so can be lowered to the seats and become a sunbed. We raise the stern door and let's take a look at the two engines. Two Volvo Penta inboard-outboard turbo diesels. At maximum, they can be calibrated to 400 horsepower.
Entra in planata piuttosto facilmente, anche perché hanno riequilibrato I pesi.
It enters into planing quite easily, also because they have redistributed the weights in this craft by shifting the fuel tanks towards the bow, almost at the centre of gravity of the hull, and thus at just 1,600 RPM and at a speed of 10 knots, the boat is planing.
È un modello perfetto per l'uscita giornaliera, ma anche per qualche breve crociera Poi dipende dal vostro grado di sportività.
It is a perfect model for day-to-day excursions, but also for a short cruise. It also depends on your level of sportiness, because a family can live on this boat for days and days as well, and then indulge in a long, itinerant journey, for example along the Latium coast to reach perhaps some location to the south or more north. We will not go far, our aim is to test the boat.
È difficile connotare questa barca perché si vede che ha uno stile.
It is hard to characterise this boat because you see that it has a classic style reminiscent of the beautiful speedboats of the 70s. But it is very modern, it has been completely revised, and it is the mix that I love.
Nel frattempo mi sono portato con I motori a 2000.
In the meantime, I've brought the engines to 2000 RPM. The speed has passed 15 knots, and this can already be one of the cruising speeds, with a consumption of 25 litres per hour per engine, equal to 1.7 litres per mile, again per engine.
La propulsione con I piedi poppieri ci dà soddisfazioni anche in termini di accelerazione.
Propulsion with outdrives gives us satisfaction in terms of acceleration. Or perhaps it is this boat, this bridge, that makes us happy. Standing here, caressed by the breeze passing over the windshield, it seems to run even faster. Well, in fact, we are gaining speed and the hull is finding its correct angle. I can remove a bit of flap.
Una delle sensazioni più piacevoli al timone di questo Aqua 35 è la virata. Sì, lo so, in mare non ci sono.
One of the most pleasant feelings at the helm of this Aqua 35 is in the turns. Yes, I know there are no bends in the sea and there are no chicanes to face, but being able to feel such control in my own hands gives us such confidence, so much security. And to me, I have to tell the truth, I also like it because it gives that sporty character that I love in the boats.
Non potete immaginare quanto sia esagerato l'angolo di sbandamento, l'inclinazione di questo scafo dovuto alla sua profondità. Però
you cannot imagine the exaggeration of the heeling angle, this inclination of the hull due to its depth, although it may seem scary in some respects, precisely because of its high angle, you can actually see how I don't have to correct it on the helm. I can keep it fixed, constant. The bow does not jerk. It keeps its trajectory, even in such an exaggerated situation. But now we bring it back on track and gain a bit of speed.
Allora, I flap li ho tolti completamente.
The flaps, I took off completely. I don't like to use them. They're always like a brake on the hull. We arrived at 2,800 RPM and the speed is 30 knots with 44 litres per hour per motor.
Se ti compri una barca come questa,
If you buy a boat like this, well, the cruising speed must be at least 30 knots, but in reality, it's actually higher.
bellissimo. Ha un beccheggio.
Beautiful. It pitches a little on the waves due to the fact that we have the sea and the wind on the bow. It's very sweet, very pleasant. It is almost relaxing.
Siamo passati a 30.
We went to 35 knots, 3,100 RPM. It's still a cruising regime, 35 knots.
Le eliche sono corte. Lo si sente
The
perché
propellers are short. You feel it because you just have to touch the throttle. It's brilliant. Like this, it should be a sporty boat, fast. Like this, it should be a speedboat, although it's big, even though it has a cabin, even though it has two cabins.
A 3200 giri possiamo considerare ancora.
At 3,200 RPM, we can still consider these engines to be cruising. Speed is 37 knots.
Giù il gas ed è il momento di alzare il trim, di farla danzare su queste onde.
A bit more gas, and it's time to raise the trim, to make it dance over these waves. Maybe we try to make a mix, trim and just a little flap. See what we can do.
Oh oh! 42, 43, 43 nodi, ma attenzione, i motori sono a 3.
42, 43, 43 knots. But be careful, the engines are at 3,600 RPM. The limiter is entering. If the propellers were a little longer, the speed would surely rise by 2, 3, perhaps even 4 knots.
Un'imbarcazione come questa, prodotta non in serie ma su ordinazione, presenta diversi vantaggi, primo fra tutti quello della
A boat like this, produced not in series but on order, has several advantages. First of all, that of customization. The interior layouts can also be modified. The essences, the colour of the deck, the hull, the finishes, the deck coating. In short, you have the ability to create your own boat.
E allora, tutto sommato, se avete la fortuna o il merito di avere la disponibilità per una
And then, all in all, if you have the fortune or merit of being available for a boat like this, maybe it's worth it to think about, to try it out. I assure you that the test is the key element when considering the value of a boat to see if you really like it.